All right, everybody. Welcome to WonderLost Gallery. We have put together a great little thing tonight for you with lots of different people to interact with. Okay? And the artists we have here tonight are some of the greatest artists that I've had the ability to work with. And it's kind of interesting for me because I get to hang my work next to these greats. And so tonight's going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable for everybody. And we really want to make sure that we get out to the community. All right, our artistic community is something that we care about greatly here at WonderLost Gallery. When it first started out, and Miss Charlene here, she's the owner of the gallery, so it's a nice woman-owned business. It started out in mind with just me, and so when you see the photography hanging on the wall, that's what it was supposed to be all about. However, as we started building this facility out, we realized that our artistic community was being left behind. As we see a decline in the Wynwood district and everything, and with the design district being so difficult to get into, we're here to help bridge that gap and give a platform for our greatly known artists that you get to see, but also for some of the lesser known. So we'll be doing these on a weekly basis of bringing people out and letting them present, give them a platform and a place to be. Now, like I said, we have some greats in the room tonight. And our first one is going to provide us with some amazing poetry. It's actually very moving. Every time that I read it or see it, it makes me feel like I've got a long way to go to be able to get to that level. How many of you have heard of Oscar Fuentes? The Biscayne poet. Well, he is here in the room, and he is going to be presenting for us here in just a few minutes. I'm going to switch out so you can quit looking at my ugly face and let him take over. So Oscar, go ahead and come on up here. Right, try not to move these people to too much tears, but I'm going to go ahead and give you this mic. Right. That way everybody online can hear us and hear you, and perfect. Go from there.
Thank you.
So you can drop that in your pocket, put that on your ear.
All right, you mind if I hold it like this?
No, you're more than welcome to. You do you.
All right, well, thank you again for having me, WonderLost. Such an honor to be here with all the artists and some friends as well. So in honor of Valentine's Day, love is in the air. I've written some beautiful love poems. I'm so happy that people are celebrating love. And so in honor of love, this piece is called Fish Hooks. And it goes like this. So here I am, outside my house, catching some fresh air. And right before my very eyes, quietly, silently, 1,000 flowers are blooming all around me. I run back inside the house, and even the floor is blooming. It's so unusual. New, tender, pink, moist. I give her a kiss and a hug, hello, and above her head, in the glass sky, the moon hangs blue and fragrant, as if hanging from some invisible branch. I point at the moon and say, look, our moon. She looks at the moon and smiles, and then she looks at me and I smile, melting inside. I'm in my room, she is sitting on my bed, I'm on the floor, my arms around her legs, my head in her lap, and we're both quiet. Silence. I can hear my pulse. I feel that everything that defines me in space is melting, vanishing. I'm a crystal dissolving in her lap. I'm getting smaller, larger, wider, off the scale because she's no longer herself. She's the whole universe. And for 1 second, her and my bed and the floor and the blooming flowers of our love shot through the sky and hit the moon with joy. We are one. All that is in me, with me, listening to the beating of my pulse and flying across the blessed second. I tried to tell her in stupid, confused, drowned words that I'm a crystal and that is why the door is in me and that's why I can hear how happy the chair is, but such nonsense comes out and I stop talking. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. So I tell her, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm talking such nonsense. And then she tells me, Oscar, what makes you think nonsense is bad? If they nurtured and cared for human nonsense the way they did with intelligence throughout the ages, then nonsense would be something of special value. And for nonsense alone, Oscar, for what you did yesterday at the bay, I love you even more. She took my face, all of me, between her palms. She lifted my head up, sweet, sharp, white teeth, and then another smile. In the open space of my room, she was like a bee. She had both honey and a sting. There's a stupid smile in my face. I look into her eyes, now one, now the other, seeing myself in each. I'm tiny, minuscule, locked inside her talking eyes. And then more bees, lips, all the sweet pain of blooming. Inside each of us, there's an invisible metronome that's ticking away quietly. And we never have to look at a clock to know the exact time to within 5 minutes. But our metronomes had stopped. And we didn't know how much time had passed by, and time had passed by. We only had 20 minutes, but minutes, what are they? Nothing but stumpy, short, little things that come so fast and quiet. We were now running. I had so much to tell her, all of myself, about the love letter I had written for her, about the beauty of my childhood, about my first day of elementary school, about my love for writing and for music, about my father and his love for bees. But she was already dressed and kissing me goodbye. For 1 second, the whole length of her body touched me. I wanted to hold on to her tight and never let go. She walks to her car, and I see that familiar movement of hers, my eyes wanting to pop out of my face, following her, begging her to stay. I'm alone now, and all that is left of her is the 100 kisses she left on my body, the print of her feet on my floor, her perfume lingering in my room, and the disappearing wings on my back that slowly bring me back down to the floor, and the hint of the yellow pollen of certain flowers that grow only when she's next to me. That and the questions that stick in me like fish hooks. Thank you.
The Biscayne Poet.
Thank you, the Biscayne Poet.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's.
Now y'all understand why I say it's difficult for me to be in the same room with some of these guys when they're so amazing. You know, Oscar has impressed me every time I've heard him, every time he's written me a poem, every time that I interact with him. And, you know, once again, it's that community that we build. It's that community that we all support. Who's up next?
Luis Garcia.
Luis Garcia. Oh. All right, Mr. Garcia.
Hold on. Hey. Yeah, we have to.
You gotta inform me of this.
Yeah, we have to play the video.
Ah, the video. All right, so what we have is we have a short video that was filmed with Mr. Garcia here. So now you can switch over to it. I'm gonna go mute.
think this is even on.
No.
It's not on?
That's just for the live stream. It's already on.
Oh, okay.
It's on.
Oh, so I need this?
Or you can put it on your ear if you want.
Okay. No, I'll hold it. I'll hang on to it. Well, shit.
It is live, so they can actually hear you online
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
But you'll just speak up. All right, guys, we have Luis Garcia. He's getting ready to start his a little bit.
How do I put this on? I'll wear that. Does that work? Does that work right there?
Perfect.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Good evening. Hello. Hi. Hi. My name's Luis Garcia. I'm a writer. I was born and raised here in Miami. I published this book. It's a collection of short stories on a local publisher, Jitney Books. I actually started off as a visual artist, photography and painting, but mostly photography. But then at one point in my life, I lost the ability to do anything but write on a piece of paper for about 8.5 years. And so, just to get to it, this is a collection of short stories. If you guys want, I have this book for sale. I'm going to read a portion of the first story, and then I'm going to stop and walk you through it, and then read the end of it. Okay? What I write is literary fiction. Okay? It's based on true events. It's based on real people, but it's fictionalized in a way so that it fits into a story in a nice compact with a message, if you get it. This one's called Master Printer. Okay, let me explain to you something, my son. You no find a job? I no pay for a school. Pero you find a job, any job, and I pay for your school to the finish. Okay? That's my dad. So I'm like, okay. Already it looks like I'm planning to stay in college for the rest of my life anyway. It's only my first year, my second semester actually, but still, I already know. It's the place to be. I'm telling you. Art and shamanism, chemistry and society, Woody Allen cinema, intro to pharmacology. These are the entries I have highlighted in this upcoming fall's catalog. Jewelry making, figure drawing, women's studies. I don't know about you, but I see endless possibilities here. Figure all I need to make a day is at least $10 for my dose. Everything else is negotiable. Food, gas, weed. Surely these things will work themselves out. Dad's not gonna let me starve, is he? And how am I to drive to school or work without gas? A little pot dealing never hurt anyone. Right. Louder? Driving along in my bubble of pot smoke, I see, passing in front of a Blockbuster video store, a guy dressed like a VHS tape standing on the sidewalk waving at me. I pull over and watch him. I can get a job like that. Yeah, I can get a job like that, and then, after my first paycheck, quit, stealing the costume to boot. Then I can find another similar job and do the same thing, over and over and over again, until I amass a bunch of different costumes, like, say, a chicken, and an ice cream cone, and a French fry. Then I can recruit friends to dress up, like the Far Out Pointless Mascot Brigade, the gorilla, the camera, the hot dog, the giant wad of cotton candy. We descend on nightclubs and dance. We crash parties, carry out panty raids, hold pointless silent vigils at rallies. We stage public fights. Just imagine a slice of pizza and a pencil throwing hands in the street, a black and white striped shirted gorilla between them. On the Blockbuster videotape man's blue face is a lurid leer. But happy? I figure no. What I seek isn't happy anyway. It doesn't take long. I find a job as a taco. I'm put to work immediately. Miami's a hot and humid place, even in t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. but put on a 10-pound costume of foam rubber and plastic, and you got you a personal sauna. In minutes, I'm drenched, sloshing around in my chucks. Every hour or so, the Viva Taco manager dude sends out a yellow-visored, pimply-faced high school kid to make sure I get a water break and not die in them up in here. But I'm fine, thanks. Keeping good THC and H2O levels. I'm 5 hours on the sidewalk, waving at cars my green leafy lettuce arms, dancing my green leafy lettuce legs, and rocking a huge smile too. Not because I'm required to. My face hidden behind a screen-like flap of pretend shredded cheddar cheese. But because this is a blast. It's not happiness, surely, but close. Great job today, goes my new boss, helping me out the back of the taco. I like the dancing. I go, thanks. Tomorrow, same time? At home, I make a sandwich with sandwich gear Dad's got in the fridge. Ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and mustard on whole wheat bread. Whole thing in the toaster oven. Kosher dill on the side. Eating at the kitchen table, I fill out an old MasterCard application. Where it says occupation, I write student/taco. My fourth day, I sneak the costume into my truck, take it home. I'm not planning to steal it just yet. First paycheck's still a few days away. I just can't wait anymore to take pictures of it, put Rachel in it, and photograph her by the lake by my house, or anywhere, because a giant taco looks great no matter where you put it. I'm in the living room, inside the taco, checking myself out dancing in the mirror. I got salsa loud in the stereo. Frankie Ruiz. But then all of a sudden, Dad's home. He opens the door, stops, stands in the doorway holding his briefcase, his jacket slung over it. He's got this yellow and green paisley tie on loose around his collar, open, and he's suddenly slack-jawed. I run over to the stereo, shut it off with a tip of my lettuce arm. He goes, "Pero te volviste loco o qué?" I flip up my shredded cheddar cheese mask and go, no, it's for work. Then he goes, "Pero what did you do at work?" And I'm like, "Wave at cars." He sets down the briefcase, takes a step forward into the house. Then he throws up his arms and goes, "That's no job, come mierda!" I go, "You said any job, Dad." "Pero you have brains. You're in college." He goes, "That's a job for people that have mental problems. You are not a retarded." I go, "Dad, don't overreact. It's just a job." "Just a job?" He goes, "Just a job?" Then he's like, "I am not going to pay for your college if you're going to work like a taco, okay?" I'm like, "But..." I'm sitting on the bed in my room. My green lettuce lugs jut straight out in front of me. Soon Rachel comes in. Rachel's my girlfriend. She has red hair and blue eyes. She's the prettiest, most understanding girl in the world, considering she's still with me. She goes, "Cool costume." But I don't say anything. Then she goes, "Hey, what's wrong?" I don't want to talk about it, I go, and flip down my shredded cheddar cheese. "Oh, poor baby," she goes, and comes and sits down next to me. "Talk to me, sweetie." I can feel her stroking gently my tortilla shell. All right, so if I keep reading, you guys will be here for like 30 fucking minutes, 40 minutes, all right? So we'll take a break, I guess. I mean, I'll stop for a second. I take any questions. We can talk about it for a second. Then I was going to read maybe 6 more minutes to finish the story, or I can like walk you through cliff notes of it.
Just walk us through.
Walk us through?
Yeah.
All right, so... So it turns out that this guy's he's okay. So this story is sort of a what you call an unreliable narrator story, where you're told the story from the point of someone who you don't trust this guy. You don't know what the fuck. This guy's not bound in reality, you know. But he's this kind of like aimless college student trying to make life out of art. It turns out he's a recovering heroin addict. He's addicted to methadone, And he goes, like the next, he keeps introducing people by saying, that's Angela, my methadone dispensing goddess, when he's getting his methadone and stuff. So he gets his job at a photo lab, which is right next door to the methadone clinic. And when he gets his job, he's just a 1-hour photo printer guy. He's printing people's photos. And he starts playing this voyeuristic thing where he starts stealing people's photos. Stealing all the throwaways. He's creating this big wall of photographs in his apartment of all these photos that he's taken from people. That just come over. And he goes on, he waxes poetic for a while. It's, this is literary fiction. So what happens is that, the writer, I take liberties grammatically and punctuationally where you're inside and outside this guy's head, and he's on drugs most of the time, pretty much all the time he's on drugs. And he takes methadone every day, and he smokes weed every morning, and then he smokes weed throughout the day. It's like, he takes lunch breaks and goes and smokes weed. So it's like, it's all, yeah. I know that guy too, yeah. So then, who is this guy, right? So then there's a few characters, they're all very Miami-based characters, and then he's making this wall, his girlfriend sees it, and then one day it starts here. So this is where it's going to end. I'm going to finish it now. It's going to probably it's not going to take long at all, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So bro, check it out, bro. Do you like acid? That's my little sister, Jennifer. We're standing in my mom's kitchen at my mom's house, where despite my coming here a lot for free meals and stuff, and holidays, I've never actually had a room of my own. When I sleep here, I sleep on the couch. And here I am now to eat, and that's it. And here's my little sister in gigantic hoop earrings, a tube top, and hot pants. Plus, I think she's a Latin queen now or something, coming at me with this shit. I go, "You're selling acid?" And she's like, "Don't tell Mom." And I'm like, "Promise." Locking my lips with a pretend key. "But what the hell are you doing selling acid?" I go. Because Jennifer is 14. She goes, "It's not mine, it's Papo's." "You know Papo, my boyfriend?" "Yeah, Papo, the Latin King guy." I go, "Yeah, I remember." She goes, "It's white bladder." And I'm like, "Okay, let's see it." Saturday morning, about 6, I drop the 4 hits I finagled off my sister. Then I go to the clinic and get my dose. Then I come back home, sit in a chair in front of a wall and watch and wait. So he's sitting in front of his wall with all the photographs looking at it, right? Listen to the art historian, critic, child lunatic talk. How pointless it all is. Putting down the work's body's purpose, stealing personal documents, giving meaning meaninglessness. But it's no use. The more I ponder, watch, the more changes in the coalescing wall's grid, and the stronger my conviction becomes. I am a sort of demigod of sorts here, tinkering, whose job's existence points only at tipping balances tender, so tender, murals. Oye, ¿qué haces? No trabajas hoy. Oh, shit. So he's going to work, right? Sorry I'm late. That's me, outside of me, with a smile hurting my face I can't wipe off, thinking I think Jeff knows what's up. Jeff, what's up? Jeff is the guy that works with him at the photo lab. Hey. I sit at my station to work, immediately concealing my looming insane. And everyone's lives in my hands now. What I see like a movie, roll after roll, each roll a reel of moving pictures, someone's life. Doing my best, making lives colorful again. Because somewhere along these lines, the lines have been lost to my job's making memories. Here I am, creator of memories and color of color. The means by which we stop time's coil. The means to take short breaks and just look. Time's breather, or time's out of time. Proud to be here, part of it, tinkering around, making it all happen, blowing candles off numbers, big cares and dolls of the Cupid or Teddy types, at carnivals and fairs, private homes, birthdays, balloons at parks, kids swimming and playing in goggles and cap-toothed smiles. The whole world's 3 colors, gradations, components. Tap, tap, reds, just the right now. Little cyan, that's a little too much. All right, plus 3 magenta, tap, minus 1 yellow, nice, tap, tap. Kite flyers and ice cream cones. The world's people drinking and licking and smiling and thinking. Manny, these prints are looking kind of magenta. It's Beverly. Beverly's his boss. His boss at the photo lab, okay. It's Beverly holding a stack of fresh prints. I go, really? Let me see. And I take them, standing up. I guess you're right, but it kind of works, don't you think? Look, they're all pictures of sports cars. I guess it's a car show or something, and all the images are all crap, so why not just make them all crappy colored? Uniform, I thought, I'm just trying to help with the aesthetics. Just print them again, Manny, and print them right. Fine, if you say so. I see Jeff stop and look at me. What am I doing? What am I saying? Crumbling. What is right anyway? And she's like, what did you say? I'm like, nothing. Then she goes, okay, well, when you're done here, come see me. I need your help. This is ridiculous. I can't help everyone, Beverly. I mean, I know our lives are all real messed up, and I know it. I know that, and I'm really trying my best to help over here, but no one sees that, and now neither do you. Is your life all messed up too? This place is dark. What are you talking about? Darkness, lighten up. And I'm talking about what we're doing here, what's so important. You don't see it. No one does. These pictures, they're the world to us. They should be. We're part, the whole. I go, holding up a stack of garish car photos, shaking them at her. But no, it's just work to you, just money. But this is life is art, and you don't see it. Calm down, Manny. No, I am calm, real calm, inside and outside me. I should be running this place. In charge. We're in charge of these people's memories, their lives, these fragile moments, and all we have to do is just stop and look. Don't you see? Just look. Don't you see that? L-O-O. Manny, are you taking drugs? Jeff shakes his head at his lap. Beverly is before me, arms akimbo, peering at me from slits atop fat cheeks. And there's Gloria. Gloria's a girl that works poking her head out the back room where she works slide machine, her mouth hanging open. I go, you mean besides the methadone? Beverly's chin jerked back. Did I just say that? An unsightly crease forms between her eyes. She goes, you're a patient at the methadone clinic? Jeff looks up, shakes his head at me. I go, no. Manny, put those photos down. You're fired. Wait, how can you? I'm your master printer. I'm good with kids. There's a scene later where, there's a scene earlier where he gets commendation from his boss for, making a kid laugh. I'm good with kids. You're fired, Manny. Give me the coat. The coat? But it's my coat. My coat, my name on it. I'll run out of here with it. Grip its lapels, cut under the counter. Go now, but no, hell, screw it. You can have your damn coat. I already have all I need from you, this place. I take it off and hand it to her. You didn't fire me, Beverly. I quit. A long time ago, I quit. 100 million years ago, I quit, and now I never actually worked here. You'll be nothing, nada, zip, zero, because I am gone. These are my words. Remember. And I leave, but I know not where exactly, because out here, it sure is pretty out here.
So where do you get your inspiration for your writing?
Well, I mean, that's like the 6 or 7 photo lab jobs I had during college, all rounded into one, Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, excellent job. I actually really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
I hope everybody else enjoyed it. How you're able to really incorporate some of your life. Quick question for you, though, out of everything. Because as artists, do you believe your art takes on a life and soul of its own?
Yeah, in the sense that when you read, see what happens for me with writing the writers that inspired me to start writing, that made me say, shit, I want to write, you know. They got into my head, and their voice became alive in my head so that I hardly didn't even have to read. So in that sense, it became alive where the writer takes control and you hear a voice in your head. You don't have to make up the voice. The way he's writing it on the page, the way the words come off the page into your mind, through your eyes, like you no longer have to read.
So
like,
in that terms, what you're kind of describing is like the dad.
Yeah,
The
dad,
you can hear that voice,
right,
and you can hear
right. So,
hear that disdain that
right.
he has for you.
So like William Faulkner was one of those that he wrote in a way that, and he's really hard to read. And when you read his stuff, you start hearing that old backcountry Louisiana, accent, and it starts coming out, and it's like just, after you read it for like 20 pages, 30 pages, you can just like channel that. You can just channel it. It seems like it's,
We ought to try reading Tolstoy in Russian.
Well, I read him in English. It's hard enough in English. Thank you, man. Thank you. Here.
Not a problem. We're so glad to have you.
Likewise.
And have the artist as part of the community here. We try to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get their art out there. It's a difficult thing for artists to do. Everybody's heard the term starving artist. Well, in these times with COVID and everything, it's made it even more so. Even successful artists that have had difficulties through these times. So the community that we want to help build and promote is to bring that back so we can take some of that starving out of it and provide.
That was just a break, and then